In this lesson, we're going to cover how to create a base view and projected views from a specific part. In this case, I just started up a brand new drawing file based on the standard millimeter .idw template file. First of all, I'm going to open up an existing file, this bracket.ipt. Now, you don't have to do this, but I just want to show what happens when a file is open. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Base View tool. And you'll notice the Base View tool now, it automatically populated the bracket.ipt since that file was open. If you had multiple files open, they would appear in this drop-down list. I'm going to cancel out of that for a second. And let's go back and I'm going to close out of that bracket.ipt. And let's do the exact same thing, but instead of clicking Base View, you can always right-click here. Let me just get out of the tool that I was in. And click on Base View from the menu. Either way is going to work for you. But you notice since I didn't have a part file or an assembly file or a presentation file open, it's grayed out. So in this case, I'm just going to go back and explore the directories. And in this case, this is where we also have our subfolders. So in this case, I am working in the Chapter 5, bracket.ipt, and it will populate that. So I just wanted to show that it doesn't matter how that is going to be populated, either an existing one that's open or go back and explore and find one. So now, inside of this dialog box, we have the scale. And I can change that scale. What does it look like at a half scale? You can also type in a value. So if I wanted to, I could say 0.6. And it's what you see is what you get for the scale. So let's change that back to full scale. If I wanted to, I could go back and place on a view label. And then I could turn that label on or off. In this case, I will leave it off. Now on the right-hand side of the dialog box, this is where we can change the orientation. So the current or the top, and you'll see that the preview is being changed immediately as I go back and select on these different views. Now, if you go through all of these views and you're still not getting what you want, there's this option down here called Change View Orientation. Go ahead and click on that. And it's going to take us into another window. I'm just going to zoom back here a little bit. And some of these tools are going to look very familiar, just like they were on the standard toolbar. Our basic zoom. We have our rotate. And of course, we can always come back to our common view if you want. We have the look at tool, if I wanted to position it like that. But we have a new tool called rotate at angle. So this is where you can go back and specify, I want to rotate this 25 degrees in a certain direction, maybe to the left. Let's change it to 35 and spin it the opposite direction. Let's go ahead and click OK. So let's say that's not what I wanted to. I'm going to go back and click under the rotate. And let's go back to our common view. And let's keep spinning it until we get what we want. So remember, if we're very close to what we want, I can also rotate this 90-degree increments by selecting the edge of the cube. That's the exact view that I want. I'm going to go back and exit the custom view by clicking on the green check mark. Now, before I place that view, because once you click on a point, it's going to get placed and this dialog box will disappear. Quickly, I want to just look at the Model State tab. In this tab, we're going to take a look at when we get to assemblies and I-assemblies and I-parts later. So as you see, there's nothing really to do here with just a single part. Under the Display Options tab, this is where I can override my application option. In this case, if I want to display all the model dimensions immediately. In a later lesson, I'll also show you a manual way of retrieving those dimensions. In this case, do we want to see our work features? That's going to be work planes, work axes, the tangent edges, and the view justification. Do you want it centered? In this case, I'm just going to accept all the defaults. Go ahead and click OK. Now I can move that view by just simply pulling it around wherever I need to. Now the next view we want to talk about is going to be projected view. And either I can click projected view in the drawing view panel and then pick inside the view. And of course I could select multiple viewpoints if I wanted to. Or what I'm going to do is just move my cursor into the view, create view, projected. Then in this case I don't have to pick inside that view since it already knows which way to go. So I'm going to place a view to the right, and I'm also going to place in an isometric view. And then right click create. So if you just hit escape, everything's going to disappear from your screen, not giving you what you want. In this case I'm going to just move the views around just by simply selecting on the edge. And that's really all there is to creating a base view and projected views. We'll talk more about editing these views in a further lesson.